I want to start off with a big thank you to everybody for the overwhelming reception and support that Mortgage Black has received this week. Friends, family, colleagues, clients, my real estate agents, competitors for that matter have been reaching out to me, congratulating me. I just want to thank you all so much for the support. If you don't know, now you know. Welcome back to This Week in Mortgage, everybody. My name is Sam Battaglia, your favorite mortgage broker here in California at Mortgage Black in Beverly Hills. I hope you had a great week. All right, crazy times. Let's get it started. So the commercial real estate market looks like it might be falling apart at this point. This is a shoe that some of us have been waiting to drop from 15 years ago, actually, when the housing market fell apart. And it wasn't an economic thing that looks like it made the commercial real estate market defaults, which have started on some major buildings. I'm not talking little podunk buildings on the corner of X and Y Street. Major skyscrapers owners are going into default. So that has started. Some of the reasons for this, of course, work habits in the world have changed. Not everybody needs office space like they used to since we dealt with what we dealt with for the last few years. The consumer habits have also changed. People don't want to go drive somewhere to pick up something that they can have dropped off at their house within 24 hours. So there is less need for, retail space for that matter. Maybe some more use for warehouse space eventually. But right now, office and retail seem like they're getting hurt a little bit. Of course, we're going to see how this shakes out. Because if you can do it on your phone, why get in the car? And the thing that I find troubling from this is actually, if nobody's going to go into the office, how is anybody new in any business going to actually learn anything? And I've mentioned this before. When I started in the mortgage business 19 plus years ago now, I learned a lot from the older folks in the office, the veterans. You learn through osmosis at the copy machine, at the coffee machine, whatever you want to say. But how do you learn if you don't go to an office entering the workforce? That's going to be very interesting. To that point might not matter because AI and the robots could be coming for our jobs anyway. So this could just be a precursor to that ends up being here nor there. So we'll see. But I do have an idea for everybody getting hurt in the commercial space right now. Some of these buildings could easily, and some of them not so easily, but some of them could easily be converted into residential housing. And I think what we're going to start seeing in the next few years, because not every commercial lease expires at the same time. I'd say in the next 5 years, everybody that's been in a commercial lease will probably have to be up for renewal, and people are going to have to make some decisions then. But I bet you we're going to start seeing a lot of workouts between the owners and their lenders. And part of that workout will be to try to get some special use permits maybe to turn things into residential from commercial so they can pay that debt off. But we will, of course, see how this shakes out. All right, bond yields. 10-year Treasury popped above 4 yesterday, popped back down below 4 today. Not a great time to borrow money, but it is a terrific time to lend money. I'll tell you this, the 10-year Treasury is up 65 basis points in the last 4 weeks, which is, reminiscent of last year when we had a market we couldn't control or even see a control. But I will tell you this, if you want to lend money right now, especially to the United States government through the Treasury bills, this is a terrific time. You're going to lend them money on a 6-month Treasury bill. They're going to give you back 5.13%. That is a lot of money to hold for not a long time commitment on a 6-month Treasury. So if you've got a lot of money right now, those treasuries look very attractive, of course, with no risk, backed by the full faith and confidence of the U.S. government. And what this is going to lead to here is not a coincidence. When bond yields reach above 4 in the 10-year, the stock market starts to sell itself. The TINA trade, TINA standing for there is no alternative, that trade is gone on Wall Street, especially with these bond yields. Because right now, with the exception of a few stocks, which I mentioned at the beginning of the year, it's going to be a stock picker's market. That's exactly what it is here. But if you're just buying the market in general and you're going to have exposure to risk, why even bother with the risk when you can go buy a 6-month Treasury for over 5%? So the TINA trade is gone. Good for bonds. It'll eventually drive yields down. Not so great for stocks. Excuse me. Moving forward to mortgage rates and housing. All right, so we have gotten out of the 5s again, and we're back in the 6s. Month ago, we were in the 5s. Now we're back in the 6s. And that 5 to 6 level seems like a light switch, not only in terms of qualification and affordability, but our clients' appetite really changes over that number, 5 to 6. There's a mental block there that won't allow people to want to borrow money, even if they can afford it at that level. So we're going to actually talk about what 1% in rate does on $1 million. So real quick here, if you borrow $1 million at 4%, that payment is $4,774. If you borrow $1 million at 5%, that payment's $5,368. Up at 6%, $5,995, and up at 7%, which we've seen, and hopefully we're not going to go there again, but that is $6,653. So each $1 million you borrow, each 1% difference in rate is about $660 a month in payment. Now, if you go up 1% from the bottom, no big deal, but we've doubled. We've gone up 3%, 4%. So 3 or 4 times $660 a month is exactly why affordability goes out the door when we get into these sixes in between these levels here. So, 1% on your mortgage isn't a lot, but when you take 1% and keep adding 1% on it every 3 months, average what we've done, which hasn't gone like that, but if you average it out, it has. It's going to make a difference to client appetite and affordability. Mortgage love, something I talked about a lot in the past. I haven't brought it up in a while because rates were dropping. But now, how could somebody, get rid of their 3% mortgage on a 30-year fix, 2.75, 3.25, whatever they have? How could they get rid of that when rates are literally, essentially double that? That's the bad part about rates being high. The good part about rates being high is your home will maintain its value because your neighbor's not going to sell their house because they can't probably afford to get rid of, nor would anybody want to, without a circumstance, get rid of a 3% 30-year fix. So I'll tell you this, if we had a glut of inventory right now, housing prices would be severely beat up. We do not have a glut of inventory. There is inventory, but there's not too much of it. So this mortgage love continues to support housing prices. And, last week, funny thing, I actually said the jobs report was going to come out this week. I was wrong. It's actually going to come out on the 10th of March, which is next Friday, which is weird because usually the jobs report comes out the first Friday of every month unless that Friday is on the 1st. This is the first time in a while I can remember it being pushed out 10 days. I've seen 9 when the 1st is on a Thursday, but being pushed out 10 days is a long time. Anyway, my point is this. This jobs report that we got a month ago in February for the month of January completely put the mortgage market on its ear, put the stock market on its ear, drove us up to 65 basis points. I can say this with all sincerity. Next Friday's February jobs report can't come soon enough. I don't think I've ever wanted to see a new jobs report just to move on from what's gone on in the last month. So keep your ears peeled, folks. Next Friday's jobs report's definitely 100% going to set the tone of the market for the subsequent 20 days remaining in the month of March. Okay, everybody, that is my show for this week. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. Again, Mortgage Black was introduced this week to everybody. I cannot thank you all enough for the support that I've received. It's exciting times. Really, my gratitude goes out. Thank you all so much. It is the weekend again, Friday. Please, as always, be safe, take care of each other, be a nice person, be good to your neighbor. Again, all the stuff we were taught when we were little. Any mortgage or real estate related questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Please, have a great weekend. Thank you so much.